Did we need a live-action remake of How to Train Your Dragon? No. Is this movie an almost word-for-word translation of that original film? Yes. Should you see this movie in cinemas? Let's discuss. It is extremely hard to believe that it has been 15 years since How to Train Your Dragon came to cinemas, and yet it has been. It has been that long, and so much in the world has changed since then. But since this movie does feel like it's just so recent in our memory, it does make you wonder why. Why remake this movie? Writer and director Dean DeBlois, as well as this entire cast, has done an excellent job making a case for why this movie exists and why you should see this movie in cinemas. Mason Thames does a fantastic job as Hiccup. You'd honestly be forgiven for thinking that he is the original voice actor, but he is not. That original voice actor was Jay Baruchel, a man whose really unique voice added a lot of personality and brought Hiccup to life in a way that made him so memorable. So these were big shoes to fill, and Mason does a fantastic job. He evokes all the best qualities of his animated counterpart, and it seems as though he was born to play this character. How to Train Your Dragon stars Mason Thames, as I already mentioned, Nico Parker, Gerard Butler, Nick Frost, Julian Dennison, Gabriel Howell, Bronwyn James, and Harry Trevaldwyn. Like the original animated movie, this movie tells the story of a young boy named Hiccup growing on the island of Berk. And while other places in the world might have to deal with rats or hungry lions, on Berk they deal with dragons. I'm not gonna lie, it did feel pretty good saying that just now. That is basically the opening monologue from this movie, and it was so cool to say it. And on Berk, all the Vikings that are born there are pretty much raised to fear the dragons, and they are also raised to aspire to become somebody who can hunt them. But Hiccup is not like those other Vikings. He's soft, he's compassionate, he's extremely intelligent, and he just doesn't have the ability to take a life, which is what leads him to meeting the Night Fury dragon known as Toothless. Okay, it does feel a little bit pointless to describe the plot of this movie since this is a remake, and I'm assuming most people have seen that original animated movie. But if you haven't because you are anti-cartoon, well, now you know the plot. One of the reasons that this movie works out just so well is that the original writer and director of that animated trilogy is back. He is writing and directing this movie, and what's really cool is that this is his first time directing a live-action movie. And kudos to him because he really nailed it. Everything about this film, in my opinion, fires on all cylinders. The world of Berk has been breathlessly recreated. I was originally kind of concerned when I saw the first couple trailers for this movie because I was like, wow, that's a lot of CGI. You know, what's the difference between this CGI movie and that animated movie? But while I was watching this movie, I quickly forgot about all those gripes that I had, and I was just so pulled into this world. The cast in this movie is remarkable, and an extra little cherry on top of all of this goodness is that the original composer, John Powell, came back to score this movie, and I had goosebumps when Test Drive started playing. Just seeing that scene on an IMAX screen, by the way, it was just so amazing. I couldn't believe that I was hearing that score again in cinemas. It really was kind of a transformative experience. That movie, it has a special spot in my heart, and one of the things that I always take away from movies is the musical scores. They can really make or break the movie, and this movie has such a great score, and I am so glad that John Powell came back to do that score again. It's maybe not the exact same as it was before. Obviously, it would be extremely boring. You wouldn't even need to hire the guy if you're just gonna literally copy and paste the score the exact same way it was. I'm pretty sure there's been minor adjustments to modify it, make it more modern, make it suitable for this live action, but that really was an extra nice touch. We've got Gerard Butler in this film, and that's really cool. And do you want to know why that is so cool? Because he is actually playing the exact same character in this live action movie that he did in the animated movie. He's playing Stoic, Hiccup's father, and of course, it's Gerard Butler. He does a very solid job. Now I have to say, I was a little bit nervous with one of these casting changes, because in the original animated film, Goober is played by Craig Ferguson, and in this movie he is played by Nick Frost. And I was a little bit worried because Craig Ferguson really did a great job, but of course this is Nick Frost we're talking about. This guy has also recently been cast to play Hagrid in the live action Harry Potter series. He's a great actor, he knows how to do his stuff, and he does really well with this role. Literally everybody in this film does an A+ job. They did a great job casting Roughnet and Toughnet. Those two, they were hilarious, and haters might want to hate, but Nico Parker really did an excellent job bringing Astrid to life. She's got all of that personality that Astrid has. She's a badass when she needs to be. I would say it didn't take very long in this movie for her to prove to everybody in the audience that she was actually well chosen to play this character. She does a bang up job, and haters can hate all they want, but fuck them. I really could keep gushing about just how well this cast was chosen. Everybody fits their roles like a glove. And that just does not feel very normal. That feels kind of rare where everybody just fires on all cylinders, but we've got that here, so that is awesome. This is a very well done movie, and just like the original, the story is just as relevant as it was way back in 2010. As a matter of fact, I would say that a story about learning not to always have to fight, to use common ground and start to understand people a bit better, or animals a bit better, well, that's possibly even more relevant than it was back in 2010. We're living in a pretty polarizing world, in case we all didn't notice, and this is a story that I think really does have an important message to it. And it seems like DreamWorks is feeling pretty confident about this live action remake because they already announced that they are going to adapt How to Train Your Dragon 2, and assuming that does well, I assume they're going to do How to Train Your Dragon 3. Let's just round out this trilogy, and after seeing this movie, I'm all for it. I am definitely all for it. So if you're looking for nostalgia, that 2010 nostalgia, or you just really want a feel-good movie that is really good for the family and for the adults, you know, the adults aren't going to hate this movie either, then this is a movie worth checking out in cinemas. I don't think this was a waste of time. I definitely think they did the right thing. They did the original animated movie justice for sure. With that in mind, I'm giving this movie a 10 out of 10. Did we need a remake of this movie? We sure didn't. We never really need a remake, but this is one of the first remakes in a while to truly make it seem like, okay, maybe this wasn't such a bad idea. I, for one, am so glad that I got to visit Berk again, and just so you know, if you want to visit Berk in real life, well, now you can, because Universal Studios' Epic Universe has a whole section dedicated to the Isle of Berk. Just a little tidbit, something that you guys might find interesting. It's pricey to go there, and it's very busy, but there you go. You can go see Vikings. You can go see Toothless in person. If you saw this movie, please put your thoughts on it in the comments. If you liked this video, go ahead and hit the like button to let me know you liked it. And if you want to hear more things from me, do what you do and subscribe. Later.